Questions 4 through 6 all deal with the names and symbols of the periodic table. My recommendation is that you spend some time memorizing the names and symbols of the different elements. With practice, you'll find that it becomes quite easy to associate the names and the symbols. Let's look at question 4. What are the chemical symbols for the following elements? So nickel is Ni, nitrogen is N, and neon is Ne. What we know, or what we can see, is that the symbols in general will have one or two letters. The first letter is always capitalized, and the second letter is always a lowercase. In these examples, all of the elements start with the letter N, and their symbols all start with the letter N. Sometimes we'll find, because the original name was in Latin or Greek, that the name and the symbols don't have the same letters. Let's take a look at question 5. Give the name of the element that corresponds to each of the following chemical symbols. So in this case, we're given the symbols, and we have to come up with the name. Zn is zinc. Potassium is for K. So here's an example where the name potassium does not really seem to associate with the symbol K. Sometimes these are a little harder to memorize. And then the last one, Fe, is iron. Another example of where the original name was in Latin or Greek, and that's where they got the symbol from, but in the name currently, we call it iron. In question 6, we see that there's some formulas of different compounds. So compounds, if you recall, are when two or more different atoms are bonded together. And so they will have their own names, which we'll learn about in a future chapter. But question 6 just wants us to write the name of the element, and then based on the formula, how many of those atoms of those elements are present. So letter A, Na, and Cl. So Na is sodium, and Cl is chlorine. Now, when we have a formula that does not have a number by the element symbol, that it is assumed that that number is 1, because in chemical compounds, when we write their formulas, we don't write the letter 1. Now letter B has subscripts, and here's the subscripts here. And these subscripts are what tell us how many of that particular element is present. So Al is aluminum, and there's a 3 next to it. And so we have 3 aluminum. Then you notice here there's a parentheses, and then a 3 outside the parentheses. Just like in math, when you have a number outside of a parentheses, you'll multiply it through to the elements inside. So S is sulfur. Inside the parentheses, there's only 1. So 1 times 3 gives me 3 sulfurs. And O is oxygen. And oxygen has a 4 by it. So 3 times 4 is 12. So the element symbols and names are part of the language of chemistry, and it will take a little bit of time, but with some memorization, you soon will be able to speak in chemistry.